Hey everybody, this is Alex Merced, and this is another video on SQL. And basically what we're going to do here is I want to show you guys order by and limit. Okay, so basically we've learned how to kind of query, just kind of say, hey, I want things that are greater than this or something that matches this. But what if you don't want multiple records? So like, for example, we did this query, select all from my second table, where ID is greater than 1. And again, this got us Bob and Susie. But what if I only really wanted the first one, or I only want one record? So I don't want Bob and Susie. I just want whichever the first record is that has an ID above 1. So what I can do is I can do a limit of 1. And what that does is just limits the number of things I'm going to get back to just one thing. Okay. Oh, I'm not in the SQL anymore. So 1 second. SQLite 3 first DB or first.db. Okay, so we're back in that database. And let me just do that query again. So my select all from my second table where ID is greater than 1. And again, we're going to limit 1. Dot tables. My second table from my second table. Is all the data still there? For some reason the data is gone. Okay. So this must have reset. So let's re-add that data. Okay. So let's see here. SQL insert into my second table values or name values Alex, Bob, Susie, semicolon. Okay, now let's do that previous query again. Select all from my second table. Okay, so we got the records there. So now if we do select all from my second table where ID is greater than 1, okay, where ID is greater than 1, okay, and again I'm going to limit to just one record. Okay, see, I just get Bob. Now, what if I wanted to get only one record, but not the very first record? Maybe I want to get the next record after that or the record after that. Then we can do offset. Select all from my second table where ID is greater than 1, limit 1, offset 1. So what this is going to do is going to get all, so in this case it'll get Bob and Susie, because Bob and Susie are the ones with an ID over 1. But then it's going to offset it by 1, so it's going to skip Bob and then just grab one record after Bob, because Bob's first, so it's offsetting by 1 and then grabbing just one record. Okay, so I should just get Susie, and that's what I do. I get Susie. Now what if I wanted all the records, but I want them in reverse order? Okay, so I want them in alphabetical order, which they technically already are. But let's say I want to do like reverse alphabetical order. So what you can do is like select all from my second table. And I'm going to say order by. And then I'm going to say which column I want to order by. So first we'll do ID. Okay, order by ID. And then I can put like ascending or descending. So we'll say ascending, which is just going to give us the normal order. So now if I do this again, and I'll say select all from my second table, but order by ID descending. See, now they're in the opposite order because it's descending. And if I did the same thing with the name field, because they're already in alphabetical order, I'd get the same thing both ways. Okay, but the idea is now I can sort the data that comes back out. So again, there's a lot of things I can do so that way when I pull the data that I want, I can have it in the order that I want or limit to the number of records that I want. There's a lot of ways to really kind of create a fine-grained query. Now, it's kind of annoying to have to constantly be typing. Like if I wanted to just, let's say I'm doing this query a lot. So let's say I'm doing this whole order ID by descending query a whole lot. And I don't want to have to be doing it every single time. And then, you know, what I can do is you can create what's called a view. A view is sort of like you say, hey, there's this query. I'm going to be doing this query a lot. So let me just give it a shortcut name. Okay. So usually the way you would do this is you would say like create view, and then you would give the view a name. So we'll say like, you know, order descending. Okay, and then you would say as, and then we're going to say, hey, the query that the thing we want to turn into this view should be this particular query. So let's see if it lets us do this. I'm not quite sure, 100% sure that SQLite has this feature. Probably does. Select all from my second table, order by ID descending. Okay, and let's just see if I did that right. Yep, I think I put too many semicolons. Create view, but saying the issue is near the parentheses. Might not have needed to put the parentheses. Let's just double check the docs. There, the view. I don't see that there, so let's see here. Creating views in SQLite 3. Can I do that? I can. So yeah, it's create view. Okay, as select statement. So yeah, okay, so like, do we need a template? Inner join. Yeah, okay, so you really don't need the parentheses, it looks like. Okay, as select, yeah. Okay, cool. So that was my mistake. So let's see here. Create view, order descending, that's going to be the name of the view, as select all from my second table, order by ID descending. So now the view is created. So now I can do this, like select all from order descending. And see, it's going to give me all the same information without me having to like type out that whole query. And see, now I have Bobby, Susie. Okay, it's still doing the query. Okay, so every time I run that statement, it's still having to like run that query and do all that work. But at least now I don't have to type all of that. So that's the beauty of the view. There's also something called the Materialized View, where if the issue is that the query is taking too long, I can actually have it create a separate set of data that is sort of the result of the query that I can quickly access because it's only that subset. I'll talk more about that in a later video when we talk about like how to optimize your database. But just so you can see here, like if you start having these like really long queries, which will eventually happen, you start getting really complicated queries, you know, you can create these little shortcuts, these views, to make it easier to access sort of very frequently hit queries. With that, my name is Alex Merced from alexmercedcoder.com and devnursery.com. And have a great day and enjoy, and I'll see you all later on.